It just take your breath away type explosions, shake your body to the core explosions.
Mike Williams was the chief electronics technician on board the Deepwater Horizon, one of the last to escape the inferno after the blowout in the Gulf. He believes a series of mishaps may have led to the catastrophe, and his story, which may be critical to the investigation, hasn't been told until tonight.
All the things that they told us could never happen, happened.
America runs on oil. From civilian cars to military vehicles, we simply depend on it to get around.
Without transportation, we don't have an economy. You're using it in your plastics, you're using it in your furniture, your carpet, your deodorant, your toothpaste, your lip balm. It basically is the material basis for much of our society.
But oil is even more pervasive than just an energy source. Its importance makes it a political commodity, and experts say it's been that way since World War II.
During World War II, when the United States was the world's leading oil supplier, President Roosevelt became concerned that the U.S. would run out of oil someday and that this would be a strategic vulnerability.
The Center for Responsive Politics reports that U.S. President Barack Obama received $800,000 from the oil industry during the 2008 presidential campaign alone. His Republican opponent, John McCain, received even more. Environmental advocates are urging for reform on oil's deep pockets in politics. Critics argue kickbacks and deals led to the BP oil rig explosion that killed 11 people and broke a well, spilling millions of gallons of crude into the Gulf of Mexico.
The first Bush, President Clinton, and the second Bush offered all kinds of incentives in deeper and deeper waters of the Gulf of Mexico, and that set the stage for the tragedy we see unfolding in the Gulf of Mexico today.
Some say current regulations are strict enough.
You already have a highly regulated industry. It's just that the regulators themselves identify, because they have to have expertise. Many of them come from the industry and go back to the industry, and so they tend to identify with the industry and lose sight of the fact that they're regulating.
In March, President Obama announced that he would greatly expand offshore drilling for oil and natural gas. But the explosion of the oil rig reversed those ambitions. There's now a moratorium on offshore drilling, but some experts argue an indefinite moratorium is not sustainable. The BP disaster isn't likely to stop the industry. Neither are Obama's demands for more safety.
There are alternatives, but they're A, more expensive, and B, it's not clear that they're actually more benign.
According to industry insiders, oil company giants Shell and Chevron have leased new drilling rigs from Transocean, the company whose Deepwater Horizon rig blew up in the Gulf in April and then sank. Even after the disaster, the American oil industry is strong and growing. For Press TV, Colin Campbell, Washington.